From Las Vegas, it's Let's Talk News Now with Rick and Ella.
Good morning, Las Vegas. It's time to grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and enjoy us as we get our day started here on Let's Talk News Now. Because after all, if you're talking about it, that means that we're talking about it here on Let's Talk News Now. I just saw what you two ladies did. I can't believe you did that.
You said to drink the coffee.
Drink the coffee.
Good morning.
This past week has been nothing but a bunch of, I'm going to call it rhetoric, going back between Barack Obama's camp and Mitt Romney's camp.
Yes.
Now, keeping in mind that neither one of these two men have actually been formally nominated by their parties, because that won't be happening until next month.
Okay.
So
it might not be them?
Well, yeah.
There's the possibility.
Now, there's the floor fight. That's real news.
It'd be interesting.
But the real question that keeps coming up over and over again, Kim, is who is going to be Romney's vice presidential nomination?
That is the big question.
But I don't understand why it's such a big question. However, I will say this. Condoleezza Rice's name was the one that was kicked around all over the weekend news shows. Mm-hmm. And even earlier this week, I was watching it, and there's like Condi Rice. First nudge, first thought. Ella, what do you think? Condi Rice, good, bad, great idea, not going to happen?
I think she's very qualified. I don't know if it will or will not happen, but I think that after the last time with Sarah Palin coming on the scene so quickly, the vice presidential candidates can be a little controversial and kick up a lot of media. And so obviously that's what she's done. Them even kicking up her name, it's gotten up a whole bunch of media. So I think it really is going into that popularity contest area. So that's what I think. But I think she's qualified though.
Is she qualified?
I like her. I think she's great. I think she could handle the pressure. I think she could handle the scrutiny. I'd love to see her in that position.
So you think a Romney, Condi Rice would be great? Okay.
But hadn't some people actually said that she's much more qualified to be president than Barack Obama before he became president? So can you imagine that she's qualified as vice president?
She's had to handle a lot of pressure, and she handles it well.
I think here's what I immediately think of. I think really, really smart move. You would have a woman, and she is also an African American woman. She is certainly more than qualified, having been a former Secretary of State. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, the Secretary of State's position is, quite frankly, the second most influential position to the president. And that's really what their job is to go around the country and represent the president. Some people would refer to them as the president in Europe, or around the world. So yeah, I think she's hugely qualified.
Right.
Do I see it happening? I don't think Dr. Rice will do it. Her one downside is that she was such an active part of the Bush administration for 8 years.
Right.
And there was such a bad connotation with the Bush administration that whether or not...
So she's kind of tainted, if you know what I mean.
By his...
Yeah.
Well, for those that didn't like President Bush, right?
Yeah, for those who didn't care for President Bush, and quite frankly, when he left office, his presidency was actually... the popularity of his presidency was below that of Richard Nixon's when he resigned. So that's not a good number to have. On the other hand, let me say this: could she handle that? I think so.
I think she can overcome that.
Yeah.
I think you take away her being a woman and being African American, her qualifications still stand strong. Her character, it could be anybody, but I don't know. I would like to see her. Well, we had Ron Frucella not so long ago, and he was really going for what is his name? Jindal?
Yeah, and I forgot. Yes, and they're looking.
He was a second, very, very popular person that people want as well.
And I think that Condi Rice, if she were to jump in, I'd say she'd have to do one thing. She would absolutely positively have to distance herself from some of the policies that Dick Cheney was saddled with as establishing, or Donald Rumsfeld was establishing, and say, look, I was part of those meetings, I didn't agree with everything that was being done, and therefore I'm ready to move on.
Okay.
So,
but I
still don't think, though, even if she
and Joe Biden, that'd be a killer debate.
I don't think, though, that the Mitt Romney camp will win. I don't see it.
You don't think so?
I don't see it, no.
Okay. Very good. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, well, we got a couple more things to talk about. So don't you go away, go grab a cup of coffee.